guys. How you doing?
Back then, the news was more of your area, and now you get news for everywhere.
Still looking for one, but yeah, that's 48 stars. That's what they had in World War II. There is such thing as a 49-star flag, but they didn't have many of those because between 48 and 50 it was like that, you know. But there are some 49-star flags out there.
That's like a super rare.
Yeah, they're few and far between because they were so quick getting the other two states. I think the last two states were Alaska and Hawaii, but they were like boom, boom, side by side.
I think Hawaii was first and then Alaska.
Then Alaska, yeah, because they didn't have much time, and so if it was Hawaii, they had the 49th star for only a little while. Because then Alaska was boom right there. Yep.
Legally, it's still possible for another country or territory to apply for statehood.
I don't think we got enough. Didn't mess up the flag.
I wouldn't mind. I would not mind at all if a unified Korea or the UK or Japan decided they wanted to be a state in the Union. I think it'd be pretty good. Yeah. If you could get the UK, that would be pretty good for them and us, and we've had a really good relationship for a long time.
Oh yeah.
There's some people that want a new state for DC, but I think there's a reason the founding fathers wanted a neutral territory to found the federal government.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Because they didn't want local governors becoming effectively badgering pseudo presidents.
Yep. I see it that you bring up Korea. That was oh shoot. But anyway, yeah, this was World War II. Oh, you brought up the UK, Lend-Lease. The Russians had a bunch of these.
Yeah.
The Russians had a bunch of WC-63s and 62s.
They probably still got a couple of them hidden in there somewhere.
I'm sure they got them somewhere.
They basically burned them up though.
There was an episode of, there was a movie called 12 O'Clock High, starred Gregory Peck, and then there was a TV show out called 12 O'Clock High. And then one of the TV shows is loosely based on a true story, where they went over and they bombed Germany, deep in Germany, and then they went on into Russian territory and landed, and they were going to load up, come back out, bomb again a different place and head home. Well, then the Russians kept them because they were having a hard time getting fuel to them. Well, that's loosely based on a true story, that part is. But anyway, during that episode, there was a crap ton of these driving around. I was like, oh look, there's my truck. Because you hardly ever see my truck on TV.
You see some of these in Alaska.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, a lot of fishermen and villages use them way back out in the sticks.
Oh, it'll go anywhere. There's a lot of torque.
In Bristol Bay, there's a town called Naknek, and they've got a couple of them for the beach fishermen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This thing here, it's got torque. It'll take a while, but it'll get up the hill.
And they're designed to be serviced in the field.
Oh, yeah.
They're not like modern vehicles. You cannot service them in the field.
This one right here, it took me 20 minutes to put the new regulator and generator on it. The truck actually helped me. One of them Jeeps, well, actually it wasn't one of them, it was a 41 Willys. It took me 2 days. The hood was so compact. Plus I had somebody standing over me telling me what to do. And all it wanted to do was cut my finger, make me bleed, and come up with new cuss words. And then I waited till he wasn't around one day, and I slid up on it, bloop, 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 and it was done in an hour, in 20 minutes, by myself. This truck helps you work on it. I mean, the axles are designed to where you can take the axles out and put wheel seals on them and everything, axle seals and everything without taking the tires off. Yeah, I mean, it's made to.
There's a reason they were so successful in the war, and Germany had some vehicles that in some ways were designed superior and built to superior standards. The problem is they were a wider variety and they were harder to work on even if you had the parts. So simple, easy to work on, self-explanatory stuff,
Oh, yeah.
There's a logic to it.
I got the book for it. I got the TU from 1943. And it's written, everything in the military is written to an 8th grade level. So this right here, I mean, it's written in pictures and everything. Because you figure the guys fighting the war in World War II, they were farm boys or subway drivers. I mean, the farm boys had a little bit of an advantage because they used to mess around with tractors. City boys, to a certain degree, depending on what they did, had a little bit of experience.
If you look at the time period, the farmers were they were frontier technologists.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at some of the manuals that were published right before the war, those technical manuals were written largely for farmers. And most of the guys on the street in some place like Chicago in 1946 to 1950, their major experience in life was machine shops and manufacturing. So they had a major advantage over you. Your generation came up during the end of the civil service industry, and the service industries failed to produce a thriving economy for most people. The people who were driving these into war had superior mechanical experience in life. It's something to study.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely good news.
Yeah.
I had no
Armored
idea.
infantry battalion. They would have rode around it.
Look at how history changed from before World War II to 1960. And you're going to see that, well, I'll call it 1980. You're going to see between 1950 and 1980, a whole lot of manufacturing went elsewhere in the world. And largely it was because the industrial barons did one mistake. They put their own employees in debt to themselves.
Air Force is easy. What do you do?
In manufacturing, everyone learns how to be organized. So the working base were getting screwed by their employer, who is actively teaching them to organize. So they organized against him, but they made a mistake. They asked for inflation instead of a standard of living. And that inflation pushed the price of doing business in the United States through the roof. They didn't get the higher standard of living. They got an endless negotiation of raising the price of business